Hello, welcome on my YouTube channel. I'm testing SDI units. I have made them myself, and before I send them off I want to know if they work. In the meanwhile, I get a special question from an English guy, and it's very difficult to explain it on paper or email. And the question is something like, when I open the throttle slowly, the engine will work. When I give it full throttle at once, the engine stalls. Okay, that's a difficult question, because that can happen with the SDI unit, the old one, or the dynamo generator is faulty. But why does it work when you open the throttle slowly, and why does it stall when you open the throttle at once? And that's very difficult to explain. So I keep it to basic principles, and maybe I can explain it by trying to give some ideas, or how it works. First of all, the engine works with opening from the throttle body of the carburetors. That means when I open the butterfly valves very slowly, the engine gets more or less air, less. So in the combustion chamber there is not fully compression. When everything is opened and everything is correct and everything runs well, we have a starting point from 10 bar. So the compression ratio 10, 9, 10 bar is maximum. You can achieve that by the right RPMs, the right airflow, and full throttle. So when you do that at once by low RPMs, you get a higher filling rate of your combustion chamber. Why I'm trying to explain this? Because when there is a maximum load on the engine, it's fully opened, everything is stopped, then it is very difficult in top dead end piston to give it a spark. So when we have fully compression at the end, it's very difficult to make a spark. And when there is not enough compression, because the butterflies are almost closed, the engine is working on very thin air, low and low pressure, then it is easy to make a spark. When everything is full load, maximum pressure is on top of the engine, on the piston, then it won't ignite. Because when the spark plug has difficulty in spark, also your SDI unit and your ignition coil are going to work on a higher grade, on a higher power, higher voltage, and then something is going to happen. Because resistors, capacitors, condensators, coils, whatever, have the tendency to work with each other. So when something happens at the end, it can give a problem at the beginning. When the power is put up, because the spark is not getting there, because there is a good fully load on the engine, then the SDI unit can go faulty inside, but also the voltage is getting up the dynamo. If that happens, the spark then it kills the engine. And that's the main problem with those CX engines. A lot of people are looking inside the carburetor. Yes, you have to do that by start. If the carburetor is okay, don't change anything. Look further under ignition coils or the spark caps. Keep the resistor out. That's also a main problem of those things. Get the resistor out of your spark caps. And when the spark plug is good, maybe you have to close the gap a little bit more. Can help, it does not provide always the answer. you can lower the voltage inside your SDI unit, the ignition coils, the spark coils, whatever you call them, and your power supply, the generator or the dynamo, by adjusting the gap inside your spark plug. If you have the feeling it gives something to the engine, more or less, then you know you have a problem with the SDI unit or the generator. The problem is not lying inside your carburetor. If the engine is, by getting slowly the throttle open to a higher RPM, and it works well, then you know that the carburetors are good. Carburetors tend to have a problem on low speeds, low RPMs, and not on full load, because the holes inside the carburetor of that are smaller. So when you always open throttle full gas, engine works well. If the engine doesn't work well, maybe the nozzles inside your carburetor are changed, the 112 and the 78, and well, then you solve the problem. You had made a mistake. But that's not the case in this question. I think you have to look inside your SDI unit or generator. Now the technicians will say we can measure it with a multimeter or a resistance meter. Don't do it. It won't work. It's an idea that I have to explain. Yes, it is possible, but when there is power coming into the coils, it will spark inside, and with your multimeter or your resistor meter you work on 3 volts or something like that, and not 180 or 250, whatever. A magnet and a coil will give high tension, high voltage on very fine mesh of thread on one coil. With your resistance meter, ohm meter, multimeter, you won't get that job done. So you have to get higher voltage. Now we are talking special equipment, and you don't have that. Also I don't have that. I have experience. So that's why I never tell you to measure the resistance of the bobine, spark plugs, spark coils, or the SDI unit or the generator, because you won't get the right readings, and if you get them, there can be still a problem with your generator, so it sends you the wrong direction. Believe me, first what you're going to do is how to check on throttle. Then you have to find someone that will help you to get a new SDI unit or change it from another one. If the problem stays there and occurs again, go deeper your engine. It's the generator, not the battery. So in that case I make my own SDI units, and they work on a different way because they are getting the power of the battery. Here, battery. And they only pick up their timing by one coil inside the engine. 2 coils left and right, so every cylinder has its own coil. That's why you have to check everything is okay by, is it the left side or the right side. Now I plug my own SDI unit, I make them, and they get the power of the battery. And now we're going to check what's going to happen. Remember, this engine is cold, it will not run properly, so give it some time. When the engine is warm and you don't need any show, it will run very well. Believe me, I have a lot of customers, they say, wow. Okay, oil light, neutral, let's start. It's open. Why it won't start? Because I didn't supply the power of the battery. Something is wrong. I do not know why. Maybe There is something wrong with this one. Okay, that's why I checked those things. This one does not work well. I do not know why. Okay, yeah. Because I make those movies at once. I have nothing to hide, so you can see something's going wrong here. Maybe it is the engine or something else. Let me try another one. And if the engine does it again, I know something is wrong with the spark plug. So, this is another one. Never been used. I think something is wrong. That's why I test them. Because when they work, it's fine. And a lot of English and Irish people are ordering those things with me, so I want to be sure that everything works well. So, let's check again. This one works. It's called engine, eh? This one works well. It's called engine. I'm not ashamed. Something goes wrong. This one is checked. Also the other one, I will check it again. Let's see what's happening. So this one is good. Let's check again. Remember, you have to do good ground on the engine, so the green wire has to go to the ground of the bike. So let me check again. That, okay. The other one works. No, it's not working. That's not good. The yellow one is working. The pink one is not working. Damn. Shit. Okay, now it works. Okay, this one is faulty. I do not know why. Sometimes it happens. I have another one to test. I get more and more. This one is not tested yet, so we're going to see what's happened. Green is ground, black is positive from the ignition switch, Here's another one. Let's check. Works well. Something more. If you want to work with your with the kill switch, that's possible. But I deliver it with non-ignition switch. There is a black wire with a white line. This thread is going to ground on your steering. If you put the positive wire on a relay, also positive on the relay switch, then you can provide the ignition with power. If you switch the kill switch on, the relay will come in and opens the contact. I don't know, Becker or breaker, I think it's a breaker contact. It opens the contact and will kill the engine. So you can make it by yourself with a simple relay. But when I make it for you, it's simply a little bit difficult to get it on your motorbike and also more expensive. So I provide you only the basic tools to work with it. That's one. This one is working too. Shit, that one is faulty. There, the other one. Green is ground. Plug in the big connector. I will show you what is going to happen when I turn the ignition around. So I do it wrong. Let's see. Check, everything okay? Now I will do it wrong. Maybe it gives you a clue or a hint what's going to happen. Strange noises, and maybe it will result in a big bang, so I will stop now. You hear something bloop, 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 bloop. Then you know the ignition is wrong. Now I turn the riser again. That's right, simple as that. So I have one SDI unit is not good. I will check out whether the wrong is. Thank you for watching. Maybe I see you next time. And when you have some questions, please email me. And maybe I can help, maybe I make a video, maybe I send you very poor text on email, but it will help you. Thank you for watching, bye bye.